Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cable of greetings to the President of Vietnam on the occasion of the Lunar New Year. Chinese authorities give an update on efforts to control the new virus, accelerating its spread in the country with 56 deaths, and the Sultanate's embassy in Beijing affirms the safety of Omani students from coronavirus. The UN mission to Libya slams ongoing violations of UN Security Council arms embargo despite commitments made at an international summit in Berlin. And Turkey quick rescue winds down after dozens pulled from rubble. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Dr. Nguyen Phu Trong, President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, on the occasion of the Lunar New Year. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed Al Mardouf Al Saadi, Minister of Sports Affairs, left the Sultanate today heading to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to attend the closing ceremony of King Abdulaziz Camel Festival due to be held in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. The Sultanate's embassy to the People's Republic of China stressed that all Omani students residing in China are fine and that it's constantly monitoring their health. The embassy issued a statement saying that it followed up with the residing students and reassured about their health and called on them to adhere to the preventive measures which Chinese health authorities have taken to deal with coronavirus. The embassy confirmed that so far no cases have been recorded among Omani students residing in China. China today expanded drastic travel restrictions to contain an epidemic that has killed 56 people and infected nearly 2,000 as the United States, France, and Japan prepare to evacuate their citizens from the quarantined city at the outbreak's epicenter. China has locked down the hard-hit province of Hubei in the country's center in an unprecedented operation affecting tens of millions of people to slow the spread of the respiratory virus. Top Chinese health officials said that the ability of the virus to spread appears to be getting stronger, though it's not as powerful as SARS, adding that their knowledge of it is limited. Outside the epicenter, four cities, including Beijing, Shanghai, and two on Shandong, announced bans on long-distance buses from entering or leaving their borders, a move that will affect millions of people traveling over the Lunar New Year holiday. Originating in Hubei's capital of Wuhan, the virus has spread throughout China and around the world, with cases confirmed in around a dozen countries as distant as the United States. The United Nations mission to Libya has slammed ongoing violations of a UN Security Council arms embargo, despite commitments made a week ago at an international summit in Berlin. The UN said it deeply regrets the continued blatant violations of the arms embargo in Libya. World leaders last weekend committed to ending all foreign meddling in Libya and to uphold the 2011 weapons embargo as part of a border plan to end the country's conflict. They also agreed to a permanent ceasefire and steps to dismantle numerous militias and armed groups as well as a political process under the auspices of the UN. Iraqi security forces fired tear gas and live bullets at renewed clashes with the protesters in Baghdad and other cities today following a push to clear ascetic camps across the country. Demonstrators are demanding the removal of what they see as a corrupt ruling elite and an end to foreign interference in domestic politics, which has come to dominate the state institutions since the 2003 US-led invasion. Protesters today threw petrol bombs and stones at security forces, which responded by firing tear gas, canisters, and live rounds into the air. Security forces removed concrete barriers near Baghdad's Tahrir Square, where demonstrators have camped out for months, and across at least one main bridge over the Tigris River. Clashes with the security forces in the southern city left at least 17 protesters wounded, 4 of them by live bullets, police and medical sources said. Protesters set the fire to security vehicles in the city center of Nasiriyah as hundreds of other demonstrators controlled the key bridges in the city. In the southern city of Basra, more than 2,000 students from different universities pulled into a protest camp. A major rescue operation to pull survivors from the collapsed buildings in eastern Turkey began winding down today, a day and a half after a powerful earthquake killed dozens. Teams had worked through the night to rescue 45 people from the rubble using drills, mechanical diggers, buckets, and bare hands in the search for survivors at 3 sites in Elazig province. The magnitude 6.8 quake struck on Friday evening, killing 32 people there and 4 in the neighboring province of Malatya, with more than 1,600 sustaining injuries. It was followed by more than 700 aftershocks. Speaking yesterday during a visit to Elazig and Malatya, President Tayyip Erdogan said steel-framed houses would be rapidly built for displaced residents. Before the dawn of the Omani Renaissance, the citizens were struggling to get news about their vast country, despite an attempt from a number of Omani intellectuals overseas to issue a newspaper with a limited circulation and unorganized distribution. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubayyi.
His Majesty the late Sultan Qaboos bin Said bin Timur, may his soul rest in peace, came to power in 1970. He paid great attention to the media and its importance in his people's life. Therefore, he established a number of audio, video and print media establishments. During his reign, the Omani media became one of the main pillars in the blessed renaissance of the modern Oman and played a significant role in authenticating the Sultanate's achievements within 50 years of the reign of His Majesty the late Sultan Qaboos. The late leader's speech during the inauguration of Oman television in 1975 established a comprehensive vision for the Omani media. The late Sultan set appropriate conditions for the Omani media in order to keep pace with the blessed renaissance of Oman. In 1971, 1 year after the start of the Omani Renaissance, Al-Watan newspaper was established as the country's first print media, followed by Oman newspaper, which was established in 1972. The late Sultan's vision for media means were the reflections of the national achievements and development projects undertook in the Sultanate during his blessed reign, involving his people in the construction phases. In 1972, Radio Sultanate of Oman started broadcasting from Muscat and Salalah. It was a medium of communication between the leader and the citizens, through which he encouraged them to exert more efforts, updated them with the developments, and greeted them on special national occasions. A royal decree was issued in 1973 to establish the Ministry of Information. The late Sultan, His Majesty Qaboos bin Said, may his soul rest in peace, inaugurated Oman television. The opening of Oman TV stressed the keenness of the leader to illuminate his peoples intellectually and culturally. In 1986, a royal decree was issued to establish the Oman News Agency, which is considered the official sources of information for the Sultanate of Oman. The comprehensive development was moving at a steady pace, and so is the Oman media, stemming from the late Sultan's thoughts. Then the Public Authority for Radio and Television was established in 2010. Followed by the opening of its digital studios, which was considered a qualitative and quantitative leap towards reaching with the development of the media around the world.
Still to come in our news bulletin. The Sultanate participates in the 51st Cairo International Book Fair 2020. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, received Commodore Dean Bassett, United Kingdom Maritime Component Commander, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, the two sides discussed points of view in a number of issues related to the naval fields between the two friendly countries. Petroleum Development Oman PDO completed today drilling the well number 1000 in the cluster group south the concession area of the company. Drilling the well came within the framework of the company's program to enhance the production through the secondary extraction. PDO is planning to drill around 500 additional wells in the coming years by developing the third phase of polymer project in Marmoul and double water immersion project, which will increase the production of the Sultanate's oil. The number of tourists in Salalah touristic season 2019 reached about 760,772 visitors, with a decline of 7.2% compared to 2018 season. The visitors' expenditure increased by 1.04%, recorded 78 million Omani Riyals, compared with around 77 million Omani Riyals in 2018 season. The statistics issued by the National Information and Statistics Center pointed out that the expenditure on entertainment tourism came in the first place of visitors' expenditure, capturing about 94%, which equal to more than 73 million Omani Riyals, followed by business tourism by 2.06%. The Sultanate's gross domestic product, GDP, increased by over 12% in 2018, according to a report issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information. That came due to the increase of value added on non-oil activities by over 2% and oil activities by 37%. The Sultanate's GDP recorded an increase of 27 billion Omani Riyals in 2017 to 30 billion Omani Riyals in 2018. The recent statistics issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information showed that the deficit value in the state's general budget amounted to 2.6 billion Omani Riyals, while the total revenues increased by over 28%, recording 11 billion Omani riyals. The statistics also showed that the public expenditure was increased by 11%, recording around 13.6 billion Omani riyals. The Sultanate is represented by the Ministry of Information and the Ministry of Heritage and Culture participated in the 51st Cairo International Book Fair 2020. This participation aimed to highlight the intellectual, literary, and historical aspects of the Sultanate. Cairo International Book Fair is considered one of the important cultural activities on the Arab and international levels. The Sultanate Pavilion presented a number of official and private publications showing the heritage and cultural achievements of the Sultanate. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cable of greetings to the President of Vietnam on the occasion of the Lunar New Year. Chinese authorities gave an update on efforts to control the new virus, accelerating its spread in the country with 56 deaths, and the Sultanate's embassy in Beijing affirms the safety of Omani students from coronavirus. The UN mission to Libya slams ongoing violations of the UN Security Council arms embargo, despite commitments made at an international summit in Berlin. And Turkey quake rescue winds down after dozens pulled from rubble. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and good night.